Well, I'm that N to the I to the N to the A, better known as BBBD. A motivating, captivating personality with weight loss, hair care, yeah, you know with me. Much more than a diva, hard hitter, never quitter, and a winner, so you know that I will. Seek to educate, regulate, never violate, never teach and hate, but I will participate at a high rate in living my life much like it is golden. Blessing brains with the knowledge and the skills to be real while they pass steadily unfolding. I'm blessing everything I do, I keep it real and true, so to my viewers I can get through. I'm on the quest to change and grow, I let my spirit flow freely to my high calling. On the real, I appreciate your love, I'm repping God above, and with this I'm never falling. On a quest for amazing, for greatness, anticipating, amazed that so long you viewed. I'm so glad to be here with you.
Sound like it's an MLK Day of Service. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All right, that's more like it. I like interactive speeches. I don't want you to just sit here, and I remember sitting and watching people give speeches and sitting back and getting lost. You're not going to get lost today. I'm going to have you repeating after me and speaking back to me as well. Today is a day of service, and service starts now. Okay? All right. So, when I was asked to speak today by Dr. Frazier and Amanda, I knew instantly that my responsibility was great. Okay? And responsibility is going to come up a lot during my speech because we all have a responsibility. When I hear the name Dr. Martin Luther King, I'm instantly reminded of his service to all mankind, no matter your race, ethnicity, beliefs, or your religion. Dr. King believed that if we all knew our responsibilities in service, we could further bridge the gap of racism and prejudice that divide humanity. He believed that we all have much to offer as well as much to learn. Okay, let me say that again. Much to offer as well as much to learn. Okay? One of my favorite quotes by him is, and we've heard it today, but I'm going to extend it a bit. Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. The service he rendered influenced many pivotal events and motivated many. These acts included, but are not limited to just a few that I'm going to mention. His influence over voter registration for African Americans in 1957 through the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Dr. King's exact words were, "I had come to see that one of the most decisive steps that the Negro could take was a short walk to the voting booth." The segregation of public schools starting in Little Rock, Arkansas. He also believed in nonviolent resistance. Dr. King stated, "The believer in nonviolence is the person who will willingly allow himself to be the victim of violence, but will never inflict violence upon another." The sit-in movement. In an effort to stop segregated lunch counters in places of service where African Americans were not allowed, Dr. King started the movement of going into these establishments and sitting in spite of implementation of tear gas, police guns, arrests, and jail sentencing. He stated, "Our ultimate aim was not to defeat or humiliate the white man, but to win his friendship and understanding. We protested with the ultimate aim of being reconciled with our white brothers." You see, the service rendered by Dr. King was more than motivates me and should more than motivate you. It pushes me to repeat after me. Okay, here we go with our service. Do more.
Do more.
Be more.
Be more.
Reach more.
Reach more.
Achieve more.
Achieve more.
Okay? I want you to let those words simmer and imprint on your mind. So for do more, now I'm going to go through my life story and how that fits in with Dr. King and what he taught and what we've learned from him. So with do more, you see, service was not always something that was right around the corner for me. I was born into humble beginnings and grew up between St. Louis, Missouri and Memphis, Tennessee, both of which were not always the safest places to live. I was adopted by a single-parent mother at the age of 3 months. She worked hard and often 8 to 12 hours daily to support the home on her own. However, my beautiful adoptive mother, Vermer Ellis Hervey, always taught me to not only dream of reaching goals through helping others, but to make those dreams a reality by looking for and creating ways to serve. She made it clear that I would grab every opportunity, even if I didn't want to, and she meant that. So now I'm going to tell you more about Be More. I told you about these opportunities my mother wanted me to grab. Let me just mention a couple. I played the piano. For 10 years, I took classical lessons. I played the viola and the violin in middle school orchestra. I wrote poetry. I volunteered at nursing homes and juvenile detention centers, walking 2 miles there and back sometimes because my mother wouldn't take me. I had to serve myself. I sang in the church choir. I joined a drill team. I went to Girl Scouts. I read book upon book. And whenever I asked her questions, I had to seek the answers for myself in the World Book Encyclopedia she purchased and I so despised. She had a similar message to Dr. King saying, "You are and will be great and will conquer anything you set out to if you put your mind and heart into it." Even though my mother hadn't had the chance to serve as she would have liked and loved to do in her life, she pushed me to grab every opportunity I could. She taught me that sacrificing for others would also help me benefit and grow in my future. I can honestly say that those very words led me to service to all mankind in various ways as I blossomed into a young woman. So reach more. Service came in many forms for me, whether it was through visiting homeless shelters, volunteering at my church, generating and executing service ideas through my sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, mentoring underprivileged youth, speaking to high school students about their dreams and goals, or by grabbing every piece of knowledge I could. I hungered for service, and I settled my appetite by challenging myself to do more, be more, reach more, and achieve more. Failure was never an option. My mother taught me that even though I didn't have as much as those around me, my abilities were no less than theirs. She supported me in all that I did, which led me to be the woman that I've become. So that leads me to achieving more and where I am in that goal. Through my determination not to fail and through service to my community, others, and myself, I have become a vessel through which giving back is something that's second nature for me. Much like King, many accolades have been earned through my service, such as being a McNair Research Scholar, which I became in 2004, a Who's Who on college campuses and universities award recipient, the president of various organizations at the same time, a recipient of 3 degrees by the age of 27 years old, including a PhD when all odds were against me. An example to you who at many times feel hopeless. Where I come from, a lot of people don't have anyone to look up to, or much to look forward to. And yet, even when I didn't have those people at my aim, I was able to create within myself the change that I wanted to see. I stand before you, an humble and yet fresh 28-year-old, a nationally recognized blogger and blogger of YouTube by the Huffington Post, focusing on holistic health and education with a following of 60,000, an entrepreneur, a St. Louis woman power player as named by Deluxe Magazine, a fashion and product model who has appeared in Ebony, Essence, Sister to Sister, and more, an active member of my community, and of course, I'm a professor in the Human Services Department in the School Psychology Program at Stephen F. Austin State University, right? are not mentioned for boasting or bragging, but help to serve as a reminder, a motivation, a pick-me-up for those who wonder how to make a way when every door seems not only closed, but locked. Dr. King's words, with the infusion of my strong mother, made service a necessity for my development and my growth, and for that I am more than grateful. I also had to learn to not always expect much of anything tangible in return for my service. According to King, we are prone to judge success by the index of our salaries or the size of our automobile rather than by the quality of our service and the relationship to mankind. I didn't want to fall into that habit. Let me share a little more with you about service. So what exactly is service and how can you implement it? According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, it is the action of helping or doing work for someone. But I know that service in relation to my life and the legacy of Dr. King means so much more. I love acronyms. I work really well from acronyms and explaining and breaking down words that way. So I'm going to share an acronym of service with you. S stands for sacrifice. Sacrifice means forfeiture of something highly valued for the sake of one considered to have a greater value or claim. Through sacrifice comes our self-worth, and also it builds social justice. E is empower, to equip or supply with an ability or to enable. With this power, we eradicate ignorance, put aside our egos, and we exemplify stellar characteristics. I mentioned putting aside your ego, and Dr. King stated, without love, benevolence becomes egotism. So without love, all the service and the giving that we do become a part of your ego if you don't do it with love. R is for responsibility, service for which one is responsible, a duty, obligation, or a burden. It is also our duty to respect one another. Can you repeat after me? Respect one another. Can I hear that again?
Respect one another.
If I see you walking past on campus, I'm going to say, what did R stand for? Okay? So remember to respect one another. V is for values, a principle, standard, or quality considered worthwhile or desirable. I is for implement, to put into practical effect or carry out. Implementing involves many things. Looking at our failures and seeing how we can improve. First of all, we can't be afraid to fail. When you fail, you learn what it is to have success. So instead of being too afraid to fail, you shouldn't make failure an option per se, but you shouldn't be so hard on yourself when you do fail, because it's through failure that we learn how to be successful. Implementation means not only allowing our previous failure to dictate a move to future success, so we should definitely use that to push us to success. This involves goal creation and completion of all things that we start. And I know a lot of times we don't complete everything that we start. But let's start today with completing everything that we start. C is for courage. The state or quality of mind or spirit that enables one to face danger or fear with self-possession, confidence, and resolution. In a nutshell, it's bravery. We must have compassion, confidence, and be committed to our own purpose and our plans. Do not allow anyone to dictate what it is you believe that you can achieve. Equality. Equality is the state or quality of being equal. I'm reminded of the powerful words of King here, that we have flown the air like birds and swum the sea like fish, but have yet to learn the simple act of walking the earth like brothers. He also stated, men are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. We're all very equal. Service is much more than a word. It's a lifestyle. It helps us to build character. It helps us gain a true sense of pride in ourselves, our families, our communities, and those from whom we serve. Service is necessary for growth. Service pushes us to be much more than we ever dreamed we could be. Service makes us feel a sense of responsibility. Service makes you take a good look at yourself and also the people around you. Service pushes you to explore higher heights, deeper depths, and venture out beyond your comfort zone. Service helps you expect the best when everything around you seems to be at its worst. So now I challenge you. Dr. King had a dream, and unfortunately, he left us as his grand plans of service were in the works. He said, I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. I challenge you to wake up from your own dream, sacrifice, empower yourself, gain a sense of responsibility, build strong values, implement plans for achieving goals, have the courage to push your dreams to fruition, and promote equality of all during your implementation. Never think that your dream is too small. Serve without expectations and for a lifetime. Dr. King's words were, the quality, not the longevity of one's life is what is important. So now I challenge you to repeat after me. Do more.
Do more.
Do more.
Do more.
Be more.
Be more.
Reach more.
Reach more.
And achieve more.
Achieve more.
Thank you.